Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have a clip for you from Magistrate William Urich in Michigan. He is doing first appearance for a sovereign citizen. The only thing is this sovereign citizen is kind of a nasty guy. I'll let you guys watch.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Calling case number 24-01173 SM. This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Len Derek Tyler Stringer. Mr. Angot, do you wish to place an appearance on the record?
Judge John Angot, I'm here as appointed counsel for Mr. Stringer regarding this arraignment. However, Mr. Stringer does not acknowledge or consent to this hearing. Is that correct, Mr. Stringer?
I do not identify. I identify as the beneficiary that is here to protect Len Derek Stringer.
Very well, Mr. Stringer. The court is going to read the charge into the record since the formal reading is not waived. Mr. Stringer, it is charged by the people of the state of Michigan that in this city of Royal Oak, county of Oakland, and state of Michigan, on or about June 16th of 2024, you did knowingly make an open or indecent exposure of your person while fondling your in a public area, contrary to the statute so made and provided at Michigan Compile Law 750.335A, subparent 2, subparent B. The court advises you that this is referred to as a Tier 1 offense under the Offender Registry Act. If the victim is a minor, it is a Tier 2 offense. If you have a prior conviction for a Tier 1 offense, it is a Tier 3 offense. If you have a prior conviction for a Tier 2 offense. This is a high misdemeanor, punishable by up to 2 years in the state prison and up to $2,000. Also, a mandatory collection of DNA identifying profiling samples. There is a count 2 misdemeanor in that on the same date, you did knowingly make an open or indecent exposure of your person contrary to the statute so made and provided at Michigan Compile Law 750.335A, subparent 2, subparent A, commonly known as indecent exposure. At this time, the court enters not guilty pleas on both of these matters so that Mr. Stringer's presumption of innocence under the constitutions of Michigan and the United States are preserved.
Sir, excuse me, sir. You have not talked to my beneficiary yet. You have not talked to the person who owns the estate yet.
Mr. Angot, the court is making a notation of court-appointed counsel to run through the IDSO office, and that new counsel, as appointed by Mr. Mena, can make whatever judgments they wish to make and make any motions they wish to make at Mr. Stringer's first probable cause conference. Mr. Stringer, this matter is now being set for a probable cause conference. That will be on a new date. The law entitles you to what they refer to as a preliminary examination within 21 days of this arraignment today. If probable cause is either found or waived at that preliminary examination, the matter will be bound over to the Oakland County Circuit Court for further arraignment, trial, and proceedings. The court must now set bond in this manner. That's not intended to prejudge or punish you. You are presumed innocent, Mr. Stringer. However, the court must set bond in order to ensure your reappearance to court and afford any necessary protection for the public. In that regard, the court would first hear from Detective Keith Baringa of the Royal Oak Police Department. Then the court would hear from your attorney, Mr. Stringer. Detective Baringa, please proceed.
Thank you. Personal bond. Cash bond in this matter and GPS setter to ensure his appearance at court. He currently has 2 warrants out of the state of Texas for assault and also in assault with injury to family violence out of Texas. He also has a lengthy criminal history out of Texas, going from as recent of these warrants, which were entered last year, back to around 2015, receiving charges for evading arrest and detention, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, assault, family, house member impeding breath or circulation, several other assault charges, a weapons charge, and then also like falsifying information or government documents. I'm not sure if that's just like a generic false ID case or not, but multiple felons out of Texas. I'm not sure how long he's been in Michigan. He has no current cases out of Michigan that I'm aware of. His criminal history, he has assault from 2019 out of Parkwood Woods, which looks like it was deferred as assaulting a public officer or obstructing, where he got served 9 days ago. And that is it out of Michigan.
Anything further?
So I would also ask that he not be allowed to return to any public or private pools in the city of Royal Oak or parks, grass areas adjacent to it. Or have contact.
Thank you very much. Mr. Angot.
Judge, as noted by the court, the presumption of innocence is absolute at this point. And so we must start from there. Mr. Stringer, or the person purporting to represent Mr. Stringer, is a business owner. Judge, despite the fact of these charges and what was listed by the detective, I believe that with the GPS tether, that certainly would give this court, pretrial services, and any other entity overseeing Mr. Stringer during the pendency of this matter, notice of where he would be within 3 feet, is my understanding, with that tether. I don't think a cash bond is necessary. I would ask the court to give him a personal bond with the GPS tether.
Thank you very much. The following conditions will apply to Mr. Stringer's release. Mr. Stringer will appear for all his future dates as directed. He will abide any valid order or judgment entered in this case. Mr. Stringer, you will not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. Please don't commit any crimes while you're on release status. You will notify the court in writing of any change of address, telephone, or email. Mr. Stringer will be making reports to pretrial services, and they will supervise his release. There will be no use of alcohol, marijuana, or any other controlled substance without a valid prescription from a treating physician, and Mr. Stringer will abide a substance abuse testing and monitoring program. No purchase or possession of a firearm or other deadly weapon. Mr. Stringer shall not harass, intimidate, beat, wound, or threaten Linda Marino and Chad Stransky, nor will he cause, through himself or through any third party, to have direct or indirect contact with said individuals. Mr. Stringer will not enter the cities of Royal Oak or Berkeley except for court, work, or medical treatment. No release without a GPS tether with appropriate alerts. For the victims in this case, as well as the location. Which is in fact 2024 Wickham, correct, Detective?
That will work.
Thank you. And at this time, there will be 2 ETGs per week for control alcohol consumption and 3 controlled substance tests a month. Given everything that's before the court at this time, the court will set bond in the amount of $50,000, cash or surety, no 10% allowed at this time. If Mr. Stringer wishes to bring various motions before the examining judge, and that could include a motion to modify his bond. That is his right and his privilege, but at this time, that is the bond as set by this court. Mr. Stringer, that concludes your arraignment, sir.
Sir, so I can't get out on a personal bond?
That's correct, Mr. Stringer. You cannot get out on a personal bond. 50,000 cash or surety with the appropriate conditions that were already listed by the court. That completes your arraignment, sir.
Sir, so what is going on with the, what is going on? Right now?
I'm sorry, sir?
I'm being charged. How do you charge an entity that is
Can you please move up so the court could hear you?
I said, how do you charge a dead entity, sir?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How do you charge a dead entity, sir? And
It just happened right before your eyes. The court has jurisdiction over you, sir. Venue and jurisdiction have been established by sworn testimony. That completes your arraignment. Good luck to you.
We're about to go to war.
I think at the end he said he was a dead entity. Okay. I love the way the judge came back at him. Well, we just did it. It just happened right before your eyes. That's how we did it. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.